everyone. Welcome to the Holistic Birth Podcast, where we put the power in families' hands to have the safe, satisfying journey they deserve. My name is Allison.
And I'm Brigitte. We are two doulas who love bringing information along with inspiration to help you feel confident and powerful in your choices throughout the birthing year.
We cover all topics around pregnancy, birth, and beyond. We're so glad you're here.
Let's dive into this week's episode.
Welcome back to the Holistic Birth Podcast. This is episode 18, and we're going to be talking about the golden hour.
Yeah, very special and important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's called golden hour, but it can be hours.
Yes,
It
true.
definitely could be extending beyond the hour, but yeah. What is the golden hour, Brigitte?
Yeah, so the golden hour is immediately after the baby's born. They are put right on your belly or your chest. And there's that skin-to-skin contact, and it really helps initiate breastfeeding and lactation, helps regulate the baby's temperature, also your temperature, helps to prevent like postpartum hemorrhage, helps your uterus shrink down, also there's delayed cord clamping that's also put into that too, which we just had an episode on, and that was episode 17, so we'll link that. But yeah, we talked all about that. But yeah, it's basically just that, and then you're given, an hour or more just to kind of be with your baby and create that bond. It increases oxytocin, like all that good stuff. So yeah, it's really, really important. So yeah.
It's a good, uninterrupted, peaceful time that you can be with your baby as you've finally greeted them on the outside. And it can be done during a vaginal birth. It can be done during a cesarean birth. Really, the interruptions could be minor. People coming in and just listening to baby's heart or whatever, but it can be pretty uninterrupted. Undisturbed.
Yep. And you can also have it nice and quiet. Like if you don't want a bunch of people talking or movement or anything like that, if you want to just kind of be left alone, that can be definitely done too. So yeah.
And so skin to skin, like you said, was part of that. Having good direct skin contact is great. So if baby's swallowed up, or if you still have a bra or some sort of gown on, making sure that there's a good amount of surface area touching skin to skin. It's good for like we talked about, regulating temperature, actually regulating blood sugar levels, stuff like that. But that's a good time to take your baby in. A lot of people feel like they can't really get a good look at the face just yet because it all is all blurring together, and the angle can be tricky, but it's good to kind of feel that baby in your arms and kind of have that I did it moment. No matter how challenging the road was, you did make it. And advocating for golden hour is definitely something you can absolutely do. So if it's something that you're, very interested in, talk to your doula or your birth team about it, and they can certainly make sure that it is done for you. Allison, do you want to talk about instances where maybe golden hour can't happen? I mean, probably the obvious, but maybe talking about that might be helpful for someone that does want it, but if there's something going on that maybe they can't or something. I would say it's kind of similar to when we talked about delayed cord clamping and optimal cord closure.
True.
In the last episode, episode 17, we talked about the scenarios that might make it more challenging or might make it kind of not as much of a priority. Obviously the benefits, just like delayed cord clamping, are wonderful for that golden hour. But with situations where maybe baby does need immediate care, they can do a lot while baby's in your arms. So there's always that as an option. But if for some reason they do need to take baby away and onto that warmer, usually in the same room, then that might be something that would disrupt it. They could always bring baby back. I've had people where have clients of my own that maybe if the birthing person went through something that meant that they couldn't really do that golden hour with baby, they then would give that time in a way to their partner or another support person, so that there's that still that bonding moment that the baby and someone else in their life that loves and cares for them can do. Things like that usually are the scenarios that make it tricky. And then if you are having a cesarean birth, then sometimes just transitioning, having someone else hold baby while you get swapped from the OR bed to the your regular bed that will help wheel you back into your room. They'll hand baby back to you, but yeah, it's sometimes there's like interruptions like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, it's doing skin to skin with your partner, like they can absolutely do that within that golden hour. So, or again, doesn't have to be an hour. It can be certainly go beyond that. So, right. Actually, as a question I get is like, how, as a doula, is how long we like stay after the birth. Because I think a lot of people think like, oh, they had the baby and you just kind of leave. I'll see you later, but we do actually stick around for that time to like help with breastfeeding support or just make sure, if in case you have any questions or anything like that. So we are a part of that golden hour, but we do like kind of hold that space. So, it's nice and quiet and make sure you're still getting advocacy around getting that golden hour. So,
yeah. And especially like if you're trying to be in the moment, which can be challenging because you've been off in labor land or birth land for however long, it's very hard to just suddenly bounce back and kind of, come back to reality, so to speak, where you're in that very like observant and like clear thinking, clear communicating space. Sometimes you're just needing to take it all in, and there's a lot of mixed emotions during that time. I've seen, definitely. We've probably both seen a lot of that. Sometimes there's excitement and joy. Other times it's like complete disbelief or awe. Yeah. I've had clients who they've shared that they really felt like they kind of went numb. Yeah. They're just like, everything's so
it's a shock.
Intense. Yeah. And it could be positive and maybe like not so positive. But there are definitely a lot of emotions, and it can be hard to, be in that logical space. So if there are things that you or your partner wanted to advocate for, that is a good time for, relying on your doula or your partner to help chat with other people about what's important to you, or even just getting things squared away in the room, like ordering food.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Ordering food, putting things back together. That's one of my favorite little like parts is if you're bonding and doing your thing and your partner's like looking longing like this is my family, like everyone's all wonderful and cozy. I don't need to be elbowing to be in the space. I know you're the same. You don't have to pop the bubble every chance we get. So sometimes it's about being like the fly on the wall. And
usually I'd like back out and just like let everything, everybody get in there and be able to do their thing, but also just take pictures. That's like a big thing they usually do is taking pictures that like instant. So because that's a very special moment, obviously. So taking pictures, but just kind of, taking a step back and being able to observe and it's good to do that too, because then you can kind of see like what is happening and observe if there might be something going on that you may not necessarily want or that kind of thing. So
exactly. So like, any sort of pictures, tidying, food. I know if we've had like an essential oil diffuser out or Bluetooth speaker that had like a little too slow music or something, like we'll switch it up. Like sometimes it's about like resetting the environment to then support that next chapter. Yeah.
So actually I had a thought. So one thing that I see that does disrupt the golden hour a little bit is the fundal massage. So I don't know if we want to dive down that rabbit hole.
I think we had planned that for another episode. Okay. So we could touch on it a little bit, but please stay tuned because we will talk more about that. But that is something that can be a disruption. And have you had clients too that will do the fundal massage themselves?
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of what I wanted to get into, but we can, again, I forgot what we were doing an episode on that. So we have so many topics. Well, they overlap a lot. There's a lot of, there's obviously all these links between them. So there is. Everything is just connected. Like our episodes like overlap each other in a way. So we try to like keep them separate, but they definitely overlap a little bit. But I mean, we could get into that more on that next episode. But that's definitely, there's some options as far as that goes. So we'll get more into that. But sorry if, we gave you a little teaser, but.
Here you go. You're welcome.
I know, exactly. So there's more coming on that. Stay tuned. So. Yeah.
Cool. But that golden hour can be really beneficial for you, for a baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And most of the time it doesn't really need to have a whole lot of interruptions. I've had clients who are like, I want 2 hours solid. Great.
Yeah.
I've had others that 45 minutes in, they're like, I need to eat with both of my hands. I'm done with my golden hour.
It's really whatever you're comfortable with. And I feel like as long as it's within that hour range is really good. There's a lot of great benefits.
Yeah. So there's prime time there. Yeah. Like colostrum's usually coming in and exactly. It's a good time to kind of help you feel more settled too. there's a lot of like stimulation things around you, so it's a good time to slow it down. And usually the room drastically changes from like a minute or two after birth to like an hour later. The room gets cleared. There's like nobody else in there.
Right. Yeah.
There's no equipment, no like crazy stuff going on. Like the monitors aren't beeping, and like it's usually pretty quiet. And that's usually the time after like an hour or two when the doula starts to notice it's almost our time to go. Because it does feel like we're intruding
a little bit on family time, family bonding time. Yeah.
I've had clients that I stay a little bit longer because they need someone to like hand feed. We're totally down for that. And then other times it's they just want like certain pictures once like most of the staff has left. And
I think it's just about really, I guess the biggest advice I would say about golden hour is just to be present and just really, if you can. I mean, some people are just exhausted and they're like, just,
bring me my nap.
If you can. Yeah, exactly. Just staying present, just being okay with wherever you're kind of at. And then, it's a processing time. So I usually never ask my clients like, oh, how was your birth? Like immediately after, how'd you feel about it? I usually wait till like when I see them for their postpartum to ask, because there is so much to process afterwards. So
for sure.
Yeah,
there is a lot there. Maybe that's a whole other thing we could talk about too, is some of the emotions that people feel about their birth.
We could definitely get into that. Yep.
Sometimes there's I've seen some disappointment that it's over.
Yep, definitely seen that.
I've seen people where they are really just so relieved.
Yeah, I'm not pregnant anymore. Yeah,
the thing is done. Like this perpetual pregnancy that was like 10,000 months long.
Yep. Felt like it was never gonna end.
Right. Yeah. But anything you're feeling during that golden hour, just it's okay to feel it. It's okay to
absolutely
roll into it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why you have a doula there to help you out. We'll always put the doula in there because it's just so beneficial. So, but yeah,
cool.
So I think that's about it about golden hour. It's pretty standard, pretty simple. But of course, if you have questions, definitely reach out to us. We're happy to answer anything regarding that, or if you have a special situation or something like that. Yeah. So we're happy to answer that.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about scenarios or anything like that, don't hesitate to reach out. It's it can be standard practice in a lot of places. So that's something you could always ask about ahead of time. Like, how do you honor the golden hour? And some of them, they might surprise you with how supportive, and if it seems like it's not as familiar of a concept, then that could help prepare you too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, great. So thanks for listening and watching, and we will definitely catch you next time. All right.
Bye, guys. That's it for this topic. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the show notes for any resources or links that we mentioned today. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on your preferred podcast platform, and also be sure to give us a review.
It really helps us grow and reach more people who could benefit from this info. Also, check us out on YouTube and visit our blog where we have this podcast transcribed for you.
We'd love to connect over social media too, and we're just an email away if you have any questions or if you want to request a topic to be covered.
We hope this helps your mind, body, and soul in having the supported and holistic journey you are so deserving of. Embrace the power within you.